family? Welcome to another episode of Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Brother Rich, and I'm with
Supanova, Slom, hip hop medicine man, wellness salute family.
Listen, man, these shows be important, man. I hope these people getting these jewels and they're not thinking we on here bullshitting, man. Yeah. The things you say are very vital and important, whether it's the Black Love Challenge, whether it's health, whether we talked about the trolls and the psychology of trolls, and whether you was converting trolls in real time. Man, you do some important things on this platform. I want to thank you, brother.
Wellness salute, brother.
I have an important topic for you tonight. Somebody that I watched as a teenager, I watched the Chappelle show. It was absolutely hilarious. Yeah. Absolutely. I loved it. I mean, it was funny. In a world that sometimes can be so depressing, it was a way for me to go home and just get a good laughing till my stomach hurts. Right. One of the people that worked on the Chappelle show was Charlie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's brother. Yeah. Funny dude. Absolutely funny dude, man.
Yeah, a legend in the game.
Absolutely funny dude. He recently died of leukemia.
Yeah.
So
salute to the ancestor. Yeah.
Today, everybody that knows Supanova Slom knows about supermegagreens.com.
That's right.
They got to know about Queen of Food by now.
That's right.
They got to know about how you helping an entire community, black, white, whoever, with your herbs, with your advice, with your words, with your motivation, with your energy, with all of that.
Yes.
I need us, because we talk about solutions and we talk about how can we change the world. Health is wealth. You can't do anything without health, my brother.
Right.
Without anything. I can't go check my mail. I can't please my girl. I can't pay a bill. I can't do anything I love to do. If I love to play basketball, if I love to film, I can't be filming this right now if my health was bad. Right. Health comes first. I need everybody to understand. Before you ask about all the complicated shit, how are we going to defeat white supremacy? Health comes first. Right. You can't defeat anybody, whether it's yourself.
Well, if you defeat it, you can't defeat anything outside of that. You first have to take responsibility for yourself, brother. So,
let's talk about leukemia, my brother.
Okay, so first we have to understand what leukemia is. Okay, leukemia is a type of cancer with abnormal blood cells are secreted. So that's the generation of the blood cells are breaking down, and that initially sets the stage for leukemia. And if you don't catch it in the earlier stages and treat it, it can worsen over time. So I got some notes here. Leukemia, it said, needs to be treated initially stages before the situation worsens. There are natural cures for leukemia, okay? There are things that you can take. There's some specific medicinal herbs and vegetable sources that can be taken to help to create a more alkaline environment. And we have to understand, a cancer is just a blockage in an area of the body. You know what I'm saying? That's a blockage.
It's a blockage.
That's a blockage. So if it's a blockage in your colon, they call it colon cancer. If it's a
blockage of what?
It's a blockage is when
energy.
Well, it can be energetic, but physically, when your body is not functioning at its highest state and there is not enough oxygen going through an area, there's like in the colon aspect, it may not be enough water in there. Okay, it may be impacted waste blocking it. We have a lot of impacted waste that has been not properly digested, that can turn into a blockage which can be cancerous. So basically, when you have an environment in your body that is acidic and not alkaline, that is setting the stage for the blockage, which becomes what they call a cancer. So any blockage for women in the breast, that blockage of flow can lead to the breast cancer, right? In the men, the prostate, the same, and the woman's wombs, ovarian cancer, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so let's talk about some of the remedies that can be in honor of our recently brother Charlie Murphy, who's now an ancestor. Things, because you have people out there that may be dealing with this. Okay,
yeah.
So garlic, they say garlic is something that can be utilized. Recent study has proven that garlic has a chemical compound that gives a flavor, but this compound helps to fight against cancerous cells. Okay, so basically, having garlic inside of your diet daily, you can have it as an extract, in liquid form, or you can have it chopped up and miced in some let's say warm water on a daily basis, and so just creating an alkaline environment daily, not waiting till you're sick necessarily and your body worsens, but really having garlic daily, they saying, helps create a more alkaline environment for your body.
So real quick, Supanova, when you talk about garlic and you're about to name all these remedies, I don't want the people to think you're just talking about leukemia.
Right.
What you're talking about is blockage, but when it's in a different area, it has a different name.
Different name. That's it.
But it's the same thing, but when it's in a different area, they call it a different name.
Right, and also when we go into these different herbs and things we're going to be talking about, they're universal. So when you have in these herbs, you're creating more an alkaline environment and less acidic
Throughout your whole body.
Period. So regardless if it's in one area or we're talking about a degeneration of blood cells, which can lead to leukemia, or we're just talking about a colon cancer issue, a prostate issue, or heart, ovarian cancer, lungs, all of these issues.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Okay,
yeah,
so let's talk about these principles. So again, garlic is something that is we use against cancer fighting the cancerous cells into the bloodstream. So having that on a daily basis, they say having it at least 1 to 3 times a day throughout the day in your food, in your shakes, or just like or even chewing on small pieces of garlic helps create an anti-cancerous environment. Okay. The next one is olive leaf extract. Okay. They say olive leaf extract, it boosts the immune system, and the effective extract is good for treating people who have leukemia. So you can have maybe in a liquid form in 1 to 2 tablespoons in some warm water, with also some minced garlic. You can have that daily, and just you're creating an anti-cancerous environment. Another thing that is recommended that we'll talk about is milk thistle. Is a herb that is that I wrote down here. You can all look this up. This is all online. You can research it. Again, my mother, Queen Afua, has been dealing with many clients throughout the years that have had these issues. So some of these herbs that I'm reading, telling you about, have been already exercised through her practice, and I salute those practices, because when we create an environment of alkaline living, of natural living, it's anti-acidic, and our people can be much more in a state of holistic health and wellness. Okay, so milk thistle is good for fighting those cancerous cells. Licorice root is also something else that is also good for those that dealing with leukemia or different aspects of cancer. Aloe vera. Aloe is really good for also the colon and blockage within the colon area. So having, I eat the aloe plant on a daily basis. I'll have the actual aloe plant, and I cut the ends of the plant off, and I have like maybe about this size of the aloe, and I eat it just like it is. I've been eating it since I was a young child. I was born and raised a vegan, but I'm used to it. But what's bitter to the body is also sweet for the body. So it's the fact that we eat too much sugars that are putting us in a more acidic state and now non-alkaline state. So really getting more in tune with the bitterness. It's a little bitter, but again, what's bitter to the tongue is also sweet for the different parts of the body. Okay, so you want to really create more, make your bitters your friends. Okay, get bitters to be better. Raspberry extract is also good for fighting different blockages and cancerous blockages in the system. Turmeric is also something that we want to have on a daily basis. I'll have a warm tea, and I'll take a half of teaspoon of turmeric powder, and I put that in some warm water, and I'll sip on that in the evening time. Another tea that is good that I recommend is green tea. Green tea is also known for fighting growing cancerous cells. Ginseng root is also good for the immune system. It's good for the prostate in men, and also good for the women and for the women's regeneration organs too, not only in the men. Also, peels of citrus fruit. So you can take the peels of a lemon, lime, or you could take the peels of a tangerine or an orange, and you can take those peels and the skin, and you can steep it in some warm water. and you can sip on that. You know, you don't have to put anything sweet in it because the natural sweetness and the citrus environment from the skin will add flavor to the water. Let me see. Also, we have blackberries. Blackberries, antioxidant property is 40%. They say 40% effective in treating cancer. Is also good for the reproductive organs, you know, in men and women. So blackberries is something that I recommend too. And yeah, brothers and sisters, so that's just, you know, that's some of the different herbs I want to begin to share with you all to create a more alkaline environment. Also, you know, increasing your chlorophyll intake, your plant proteins, like we have at www.supermegagreens.com. The properties that are in the alfalfa dandelion, the spirulina, the wheatgrass, the chlorella. The chlorella is one of the most strongest you know, plant proteins from the ocean. You know, all of those plant proteins working together in tandem to create a more oxygenated environment for your immune system, for your skin, your hair, and your nails, for your regeneration organs. And it creates an environment that is hard for cancers to grow and thrive. Blockage cannot thrive in an open environment that has light and life inside of it. You know, so, you know, eating foods that, eating drugs masquerading as foods that have no life in it, and having less water, and, you know, we're water beings, you know, 60 to 70% water. So when our body's dehydrated, that's also creating an environment that was not productive to be thriving in. It's creating an environment that's more acidic. So again, really increasing your water intake, more whole fruits and vegetables, more greens in your daily diet, staying away from the milk. The dairy products is a no-no, and its derivatives. That creates a mucus environment, which also creates an acidic environment. So you want to really cut that one out, and regulate when you have your starchy foods. Too many starches also convert to sugars, and too much sugars create an environment where we are now receptive to high levels of being diabetics, you know, young kids as young as 8, 9 years old, you know, and even so-called vegan vegetarians, you know, they call themselves vegan vegetarians, but most of them are starchitarians masquerading as vegetarians, because most of their diets consuming between 60 to 70% of starch foods, which converts to sugar. And when you look at the shopping carts and some people in Whole Foods and some of these markets, most of them don't even have green leafy vegetables in them. They have a lot of heavy starch-based products that are alternatives from what they used to eat. So you want to also check into that too, because you don't want to be sitting in an environment thinking, I'm vegan, I'm eating well, but then you're still eating a whole lot of starches. So, you know, we really want to create an environment, brothers and sisters, more alkaline, and honor of our brother recently passing, to, you know, honor your cells, create an environment of life, of high chlorophyllic based foods, high alkaline foods that creates a suffocation of any acidic to thrive in your body. And that's for brothers and sisters who are dealing with leukemia or any other blockage in their body. We want to encourage you all to really value yourself and make yourself a representative of wellness and health on a daily basis.
Supanova Slom, I want to talk to you about, besides the food element, in terms of our emotions. And when we think about all these diseases, whether it's heart disease, whether it's cancer, whether it's prostate cancer, whether it's AIDS, how much of an impact does our emotions play on our health? Because what if I'm not making a lot of, let's say somebody's, I don't want to put it on me, let's say somebody's not making a lot of money and they can't support their children, and so they're depressed, but they eat healthy, but they're depressed and they get a disease. What was more important? What was the bigger factor in that person's life? The fact that they was depressed, or the fact that they had a healthy diet? Because,
again, we're talking about holistic health. It's body, mind, and spirit. So, you know, it works in tandem. You know, you have to have a healthy consciousness in mind, thinking, you know, so you can attract the foods that you eat. They can be the foods you eat have consciousness, right? Okay, and they're a reflection of your consciousness, how you value yourself.
So it starts in your mind.
It starts in the consciousness in the mind, you know, and it starts in the spiritual body before even the mind. So you know, all those parts of yourself work in tandem for you to be in a space of a holistic environment. So, you know, if you're not thinking positive of yourself on a daily basis, you're constantly beating yourself up, but you're trying to eat healthy, eventually you're still not holistic, because you're still leaving out the emotional healing that needs to go into play, the mental encouragement that needs to go into play, and really you're not really charging the foods, the alkaline foods, to do its 100% maximum effort in your body, because your consciousness is compromised.
You know what's interesting about you saying that? When I'm active and I'm working out and I'm exercising, let's say I'm jogging and I'm going to the gym, you don't crave certain foods. And it's not like you're purposely trying to not crave those foods, but when you're working out, it's like all of a sudden you're not craving those foods that you crave when you wasn't working out.
Part of that is
so it's like it happens automatically when
because your body's detoxing. You know, anytime you sweat, you know, yes, your body getting rid of waste. So when you're doing resistance training, when you're doing cardio, your body's getting rid of all that waste that was building up inside your skin.
What are you saying? Waste attracts more waste?
Well, yes, it does. You know what I'm saying? So again, the body is a natural machine meant to move. So the more you're in movement and you're working on your oxygen, your cells are being fed, everything is open, it's not going to crave toxic things. You know, when you're sitting and not really being active and the body's idle, you know, then you start getting to unproductive habits that allow you to be more idle. So the reason why you don't have those a lot of times when you're active and you don't have those regressive thinkings of eating those type of foods, because your body's already being more in a whole state. It's getting rid of a lot of that waste.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's definitely interesting. Talk to us about the next phase of, you know, a brother came up to me today and said, I was in Brooklyn. I was by Nostrand Avenue. I was with my girl. Brother came up to me. He watches the videos. He said, Brother Rich, who, you know, he seen me before I lecture, so he knows how I look. He said, Brother Rich, who's the next Dr. Sebi? What's the right mentality should we have as a people? Should we continue to look for a quote-unquote Dr. Sebi, or should we just go out there and do what we got to do? What's the right mentality we should have moving forward?
Well, we have the mentality is to have that we all are healers. We all have the opportunity to voyage to be healers. Dr. Sebi set a powerful example, right? So it's not trying to look for another Dr. Sebi. It's how you can unlock the Dr. Sebi in yourself. In honor of his spirit, are you applying the daily things he said about creating an alkaline environment, non-acidic environment? How does that show up? How does a non-acidic environment show up in your mentality? How you value yourself? Because you can be eating good foods, but if you have an acidic consciousness, an acidic spirit, you have to have an alkaline spirit too, an alkaline consciousness, right? So each of us have the example of a Dr. Sebi in us to unlock, right? And it's through trial and error that we know what works for us. You know what I'm saying? Again, I was born and raised a vegan vegetarian, so all my life, that's what my example was from birth. So but I'm not dogmatic to brothers and sisters who may not have been raised like me, right? So what I try to do is just encourage them to where they are, you know, and give them some tools that they can begin to assess in themselves, see what works for them, but give them, you know, an encouragement that they can go further, you know, where I'm at, and even beyond me. They can set their own trajectory, right? But if we start to hate each other, again, the set trip, the tribalism, you know, some people are raw, so they don't like people who don't eat raw, and some people who don't like who eat cooked foods don't like people who eat raw. So it's a lot of vegan set tripping going on. It seems you see, no matter what we talk about, it's always these tribes and these sets tripping and nitpicking on each other. So I say, listen, to each his own holistic health and wellness. Maintain. You have the tools. We're speaking on these tools. Take the first step for body, mind, and spirit alignment. Value yourself. Know that you are valuable. And the more you invest in your health and you build on that wellness and that health daily, you are building a reservoir of wealth that you can pass on to your children. Because, see, the more toxic your environment, brothers, you're going to pass on that toxic sperm to the womb. And sisters, if you have a toxic womb, now you're going to be birthing children with a compromised immune system. But if you start to invest in yourself now, and sister and brother, what happens is you're so strong now, and you're passing on the regeneration that your children now are not born with compromised immune system. They say, oh, that child was born with asthma, or that child was born with diabetes. Well, that child was born with that because that was carried off in the sperm. It was carried on in the consciousness of the womb, and then that toxic sperm and toxic womb created a child that was now had a compromised environment and is fighting for her and his life in this toxic environment. You know, so let's, you know, by investing in ourselves and changing the toxic paradigm to a more alkaline paradigm, we are setting a new precedent for our children and our future generations.
I got one more question for you, Supanova Slom. I want to take it on another level. We often talk about maintaining a healthy body, and we get advice, whether it's exercise, going to the gym, working out, yoga, meditation, about maintaining a healthy body. What I want to talk to you about is having a healthy spirit. People try and try and try. They want to meet somebody with a healthy spirit. So some people say, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to meet a woman might say, I'm going to meet a dude at church. He's going to have this healthy spirit. She meets a dude at church. He's into the Bible. He could quote all the scriptures. He turns out to be a piece of shit. So a sister says, all right, I'm going to meet a dude that's into spirituality, metaphysics. He's going to know about the Kundalini, all of that. He's going to have a healthy spirit. She meets him. He's able to explain all that. He knows all of that. He's still a piece of shit. So then another sister says, you know what? In order for me to meet a man with a healthy spirit, I have to meet a man that's a vegan, because it's the food, the acidic food, that's making these males. And I don't want to act like I'm getting at the males. It could be male or female. I'm just using that as an example. I want to meet somebody who that has a healthy spirit. They can't eat certain things because the food is creating the thoughts in their body. So she meets a vegan, or he meets a vegan, and they still end up being a piece of shit, a bad person. There's plenty of bad vegans out there. There's plenty of vegans that are Donald Trumps out there, that are diabolical, that don't give a fuck about nobody, that are selfish, that will kill you in a heartbeat, and they're vegans at the same time. What can we do to meet somebody or to get a healthy spirit? Because veganism doesn't guarantee it, religion doesn't guarantee it, meditating all the time doesn't guarantee it. It seems like there's no guarantee, and that's all anybody, whether it's not even just a mate, it's a friend. People just want to come across somebody who has a healthy spirit. So it seems like there's no guarantee, whether you're a vegan, whether you worship this God or that God. How can we gain a healthy spirit, Supanova Slom?
The only guarantee is your commitment to yourself and your commitment to your own personal excellence. Ooh. And then that commitment, you will attract yourself or yourselves through your cycles of commitment. See, everything has a beginning, interaction, and an aftermath. Everything goes in cycles of threes. So just because you meet someone in your fellowship and in church, you know, that's where you were at in your consciousness at the time of attracting them. But they have their own story. And they're unfolding before you like you unfolding before them, right? And so if they turn out to be a piece of shit, well then that's a reflection of you being a piece of shit where they at that level. Now you can either help them grow to see past that, empower them, or you can say, you know what, it's time for me to grow and be self-accountable. So that's all we can do at the end of the day. You can point fingers, but the only thing you can shift is you. Soul shift comes from within. You know, we have to work within to manifest the joys without.
So to meet a healthy spirit, you have to be a healthy spirit.
You have to be. I am that I am a shining being dwelling in light. So it doesn't, when the ancestors said, I am that I am a shining being dwelling in light, or Nukpu Nuku Amiku Kemam Keperu Imit Ayu. It's a Kemetic prayer saying that I take responsibility for my light, regardless of anybody outside of me and doing what they're doing. I'm committed to my personal excellence. And so that means someone you attract to you can be your lesson or your blessing, or both.
Vegan or not.
Vegan is listen, you have racists out here that meditate.
True.
That do yoga.
Yeah.
That are so-called enlightened, and they hate people of color. And they go to they go through all of the spas and the energy paradigm shift, the metaphysics. They know metaphysics. They talk about shifting consciousness, and they don't like people of color. So I mean, so really, it doesn't necessarily. What it comes down to is someone's personal commitment to who they are at the core of themselves. That's it. You know, and like tracks like. So you know, if you really committed to your soul searching of your personal power, you will attract brothers and sisters on the journey that are reflecting their personal power. Right now, again, you come into this planet by yourself, you're going to leave by yourself. We are blessed to meet each other along the journey. Nobody stays with you forever, you know, but we are all united and bonded in spirit, everlasting beyond the flesh. But on the physical journey, we're all passing through. You know, and I would just say, you know, be patient with yourself in the process, and be patient with others. You know, when people outside me, Brother Rich, are out of balance, I look at myself. You know, I've used to point fingers, look at everybody else. But I realized I have the power to change me instantly. If I don't like the way things are going or feeling, I can shift me. And when I shift my vibration, everything around me shifts. You know, now when I make an investment in he said and she said and what they did, I'm investing in that consciousness. It's like you said earlier about sometimes, you know, we give up our power of feeling good and positive, and we enroll ourselves in the collective consciousness of toxicity,
right.
Or low frequency.
Right.
No, I say sometimes you have to stand sovereign and by yourself on your light and say, I'm going to shine bright in the midst of darkness. Regardless of whoever's doing what, I'm going to shine bright in this example. And if you being consistent, you will attract who you need on your journey to reflect that. And the reflection may be for a moment. It may be for many moments. But you have the opportunity to maintain your moment and hold it as long as you want to, Brother Rich.
I'm glad you gave such a holistic approach, man.
Because that's what it's about, brother. You know, I don't think it's, for me personally, I'm not here to be dogmatic, you know, and to attack someone who's not like me. I feel that we all have something to contribute, right? And there are brothers and sisters that may be meat eaters, but may be vibrating at a spiritual rate. But they may not really be physically strong, right? You got brothers and sisters who don't eat meat, physically strong, right? Holistically, you know, in their body, but they may be not good mentally, right? So I feel body, mind, spirit, we can attract all aspects of ourselves to remind us to work on all aspects of ourselves. It's holistic wellness. Body, mind, spirit, empowerment.
Glad you said that, brother. It's a different perspective than I'm sure people have heard before.
Because you may be strong mentally, and I may need mental fortitude, and you can be a reflection and inspire me to be more powerful mentally.
Right.
I may be powerful spiritually, and you may have a spiritual weakness and defect, but you attracted me to show you what that example looks like. I may be strong with resistance training, physical martial arts, and physical strength, and even diet. And you may have a defect, and I can be a reflection to you. At different points of our growth and development, we can reflect each other and use each other as examples of empowerment. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. It's about empowering each other to be much more proficient and excellent body, mind, and spirit.
Damn, this is powerful. I want the people to watch this more than once, family. This is an extremely powerful episode. Tell the people one more time the website to go to get their health together, my brother.
Before I even say that, I want to say, brothers and sisters, you are mighty. You are powerful. You are strong. You always have been powerful, mighty, and strong. This is your time to remember who you are. Be courageous in your pursuit of your personal excellence. Make a commitment daily. No matter what you've been dealt, the cards you've been dealt, what family you've come through, you are here to be the revenge of excellence to even your bloodline. You came through the portal gateway at this time to be the shining example. And I charge you with love, light, and prosperity on this planet, in this plane, and may you be glorious on your pursuit of personal power and personal excellence so you can be an example for many others that need to have that example. www.supermegagreens.com. That's www.supermegagreens.com. Go on, log on, family, and see what the Super Mega Green Superfoods is about. Get an alkaline body, mind, and spirit to empower you to be excellent on your journey in your pursuit of your internal and external excellence.
On that note, we signing out, family. Peace.
Wellness salute.